You have to follow the procedure, otherwise you will not get there, and then you get disappointed. We've seen this over time. A lot of people try it, but they don't follow just because it's there. I've even noticed that with our own people. A lot of people, I look and I see across the internet, and Caroline and the others keep on telling me, a lot of people are making nanomaterials totally the wrong way, and that's why they're getting disappointed. They're making the GANs the wrong way. Please follow the procedure we set up in production of the GANs, in production of nanomaterial. Do not touch your nanomaterial. Those who make fire coating will see different results. Those of you who make what I call electricity coating, you see different results. Those of you who do the nanocaustic steaming, you see different results. We see success with the people who have done, follow the procedure we set up with a deep caustic nano coating. Most of them achieve results. Those of people who do their own innovations and then they cannot see, or they see different effects, they create different effects. But the way I have set up the production of nanomaterial, the production of the GANs material, is the way I have achieved, and I've seen all the results, and we can say, and there is, you cannot repeat what I've done. You do different things and then you get disappointed. Let me explain to you. If you understand the world of materials, I've explained this, then you understand fully. In the world of metallurgy, when we have a steel, don't forget, I'm a nuclear physicist, I understand the full structure, how we produce. I have diplomas and degrees in the structure of the metals, understanding the process of producing metals, what it does, how you produce it, how you handle it. There's no difference. In metallurgy, in steel production, for example, when we get an iron, we add certain amount of carbon, we get different behavior. The softness of steel is the same. How much you add CO2 in the structure of the GANs, you get different behavior from zinc oxide and copper oxide. So it's softness, the dimension, the structure of the carbon which gives you that, because it's like a sliding plasma. Then in a steel production, we heat up the steel to a high temperature, and how we allow it to come out, it gives us different type of steel. If we quench it in the cold water, it becomes brittle. If we let it cool very, very slowly, it's known as annealing, it becomes different behavior at different temperature, depends when we cool it afterwards, how rapid we cool it afterwards. It's the same the way you make nanomaterials. When you make a nanomaterial in the deep caustic, suddenly high temperature, you create the condition of the release of nanomaterial in the way it's needed to become GANs. The spacing is correct, everything else is correct. Then when you add this material into the GANs, that depending on the dilution, depends how many and how you release the structure. Up to now, everybody does whatever they like. That's how the technology should be. But if you follow the way we do in our production, in the factories, in the research, in development, we don't see much success with fire nanocoating in the way we expect. And that's why a lot of people get disappointed, because it creates different kind of nano layer. Compactness, very compact, very, very tight. And so the release of different strength grabs, magnetic gravitational plasma, is released in GANs. So that GANs is slightly different than the way it's done with caustic. With the NOH, more or less, we have fixed the temperature, we have fixed it. I want to share something with you that is important. Can I share a screen, please? This goes back to the original of teaching. If you remember, a few weeks ago, I explained this very, very clearly, and now we go just adding to the knowledge, because it's important we understand this process. If you remember, I showed the metal, copper, let's say. What is happening here? Go back in. If you have a copper here,
Yes. You have to reselect the tool. Yes.
I know I have a little button on this in this thingy which causes most of my problem. I'm going to stop sharing and share again. I touched the button on the pen. Okay, we clear out. If we remember all our teaching, we did the copper wire. Then I explained into how by nano coating, by caustic, we created the nano spacing. And then we explained in our teaching how by putting it in the new, this was the condition of earth condition. This is atmospheric condition. Now we have created a sodium condition, which is all to do with NOH and NCl. So now in adding the what I call another environment of nanomaterial in condition of new environment, we created our GANs. On the metal side, what we achieve is we go the same way. We go in a way on a spacing in a different way in respect to atmosphere. We go from the solid into liquid, and if we allow it and heat it up and put more energy into it, we go into what we call gas state. But there is addition to the information to the knowledge, and let's look at it this way. If we allow this gas state, now that we have separated it into the liquid, into the gas, then what you actually see is repetition of what you had. You achieve your GANs, nano layers. The fourth state of matter coming from the matter itself. Here, because of atmospheric condition, the knowledge of the man has been blocked. With the introduction of the new environment, which is Na, we can carry on with the same. This is what we call it, GANs. Gases at a nano stage. And this is what you have. Gas here, creating the right condition, becomes GANs. Because now that it's more free, we can act on it. With a caustic, the way we use, we catch the gases here. Now you understand. With the gas nano coating, we try to change this environment to achieve this, to go there. What we capture at a high temperature conversion of the gases, trying to push them back on the plate because we blow it with the fire. The same is with the electric. We push the current through, trying to achieve interact with outside. With the way I produce GANs, we work in this way, and that's why we call it the GANs. When we heat it up, that it goes so fast, but cannot go, it becomes to its nano gas state, and then we pick it up and we become GANs. So the way you produce your GANs material is important, and you see different results. With electric current, you have a push from underneath. This nano structure in strength is not the same as this nano structure, even though it's nano, because you pushed it further. The way you do it with the steaming is the same. The way it works, and we see working up to now here, is the way we create condition with caustic. If you change the nano to magnesium or potassium or whatever, then you decide the strength of, is it at this level or at this level, which atomic structure from inside. This is crucial to understand, and I am realizing more and more that a lot of people haven't understood this. And this is what we need to understand, why some of you do not see results, or not the result you want.